we really nailed Tom Steyer. I mean, the
Oh
day
yeah,
after Swalwell drops out, we're like, there's no way
no
Tom
chance,
Steyer's going to win this. There's
no
no
chance,
way.
no
You
chance.
just know. Some people you just know. There's no fight in them. There's no dynamics. You can't connect with voters. It's about connecting with the electorate. And
Yeah,
if you can't connect, what are you doing here? Well, you're spending $200 million on something that could have gone to the kids. Keep saying it.
could have lit it on fire, and it probably would have gotten like a lot more views on YouTube. Give us some money.
Let's discuss MSG and Trump because
Okay.
I don't know. Is there a highlight reel that comes over to you the day after to show you? So it was the national anthem, and then they show him, and he's just like this in a suit and tie, and just massive booze rain down. I was in a bar, booze rained down in the bar as well. Yeah, and it was funny, and I'm stealing this from Peter Rosenberg, who made a great point day of to say, if he had a Knicks hat on, if he had a Knicks tie, if he said "Let's go Knicks" or mouthed it, you almost can't boo him. Like
Right.
that's like your force field. But he's always going to wear a suit and tie. I mean, it's funny. The Bill Maher talks about how Trump used to walk around the Playboy Mansion in a suit and tie. Everybody else was in smoking jackets, and he was wearing a suit and tie in the Playboy
Yeah.
Mansion. So he's not gonna even mess with just a normal red tie or a blue tie, whatever he wears. But I was thinking he can't do the Knicks thing because then he might forfeit some votes in Texas, right? And the all important race in Texas.
Oh
Is
yeah.
that where your mind went?
Oh, totally. I mean, well, like, why did he go? Was that like the secret New Yorker in him going, you know what, I need to be there, or is it the other? I just need the attention. I mean, because he went to the national championship game, the college football game in Miami,
Yeah.
because it was
Yeah.
close to home. I mean, I guess you could say MSG is also close to home, but
Mm,
I mean,
it's not
yeah,
close to home. It's close to home, but it's not close
right,
to home.
right,
I think that's what
exactly.
it is. I think it is the secret New Yorker in him that really, I think he is a Knicks fan. Like, I don't think anyone could deny that. Grew up in Queens, definitely
Yeah,
a Knicks fan. I mean, he's not locked in. He was definitely sleeping in the box, but he sleeps during the day. He sleeps when he catches a break, when there's a good cabinet meeting on, or national security briefing, or RFK's given his spiel. He catches a dooze here and there.
these cat naps. I mean, my dad does it, and he's a similar age.
Right.
It's just like all of a sudden you're having a conversation, and then he's he can't help it. What he's got the big 8-0 coming up, right? So it's just kind of that lifestyle.
Is it 80 on July
Yeah,
4th? Wow. I didn't realize it was a big one. I knew
yeah,
it
it's
was his
80.
birthday, and I knew it coincides with 250, but wow,
Yeah,
the big 8-0. Okay. That's a
yeah,
huge one.
yeah.
And we got UFC I guess, is it UFC 250? Or I don't know what the number
Yeah.
is. It's the UFC event at the White House this weekend. That'll be interesting. I'm curious to see. There won't be ratings. I think it's mostly on Paramount Plus. Not Joe Rogan. Dana White was already
You know,
saying
like,
that it will gather the same ratings that the Super Bowl will, which is nice and wishful thinking. That sounds like a promoter right there. Good for him. He's an all-time promoter up there with Vince McMahon.
definitely.
He knows what he's doing. But I'm curious to see if it's a good show, what it looks like on TV, how you know how, like, when you're campaigning, you're not supposed to, like, take calls or videos from the Oval Office. You're not supposed to use the presidency
Mm-hmm.
in campaigning. I'm curious to know how much of an ad it feels like for the White House, for the presidency. I mean, that's going to be the backdrop, right? It's just going to be the stage, and
Oh
right
yeah,
behind it,
exactly.
it's going to be the
Actually,
White House.
oddly enough, I think I've seen way too many articles about grass recently, like the actual lawn grass, because
Oh,
the
okay,
world,
yeah, yeah.
because the World Cup's coming up, and right, and
Yes, that's true.
there's been this whole thing about how much money FIFA is spending on grass to make sure that it's perfect and whatnot, and because last year's tournament that they held in the U.S. went
Mm.
terrible with the grass. Anyway, I was
Yeah.
just looking at
Yeah.
a picture of the stage sitting on top, and I go, "Wow, poor grass." I mean, it's
Yeah.
like completely covering the entire South
That
Lawn.
grass is dead for
I mean,
sure.
it's like it's huge. The stage and the whole thing, and
What's
I mean,
funny is he wants to put a patio on the south lawn anyway. He wanted to kill the grass regardless permanently.
anyway,
He wanted to just put like tile over it and call it a day.
call it a day. This is very Floridian of him.
Right, exactly. That's where his taste really comes from. But you know the whole grass thing at MetLife. It's usually turf. It's always turf, and it
Yeah.
has the fiercest turf. Like so
Yes.
many injuries happen on that turf. Players hate that turf.
Yep.
They're bringing in the grass, and then after the World Cup's over, they're taking the grass away.
Naturally. I mean, I don't understand that because the tech nowadays is like they weave the real grass into the synthetic grass, so it lasts longer. I think SoFi has that,
Okay.
and it's like kind of a big deal. And then if you've seen anything about the Bernabeu in Madrid, like they literally just take the field away in sections and put it underneath the stadium, and they have
Yeah.
a metro underneath the stadium. So like, come on, guys, you could easily do that, right? You spent how much on that stadium?
I know.
$1 billion
It-
plus. I mean,
It is
come on.
the worst stadium. It is the worst modern stadium in the world, I would argue. Everybody in the tri-state area hates it. They hate where it is. They hate how to get to it. They hate the actual stadium
Stadium.
itself.
And that's where the World Cup final is going to be.
And that's where the World Cup final is going to be. Exactly. I'm going to SoFi, by the way. I'm flying out
That's cool.
in 2 weeks. I'm seeing the U.S. in Game 3. I'm seeing them play Turkey. So,
Nice.
by the way, who do you root for? Who are you rooting for?
Oof, that's tough. That's really tough. I have weird allegiances, both from
This is why I ask.
like players I like, and then there's the nationality thing. So I'll be pretty diehard U.S.
Okay, good.
Though having been in the U.S. system for long enough, I understand the bugaboos around the team and the players and so on and so forth, and the real expectations versus the reality.
Right.
There's the Czechs. The Czechs are going to be down in Mexico. I will root for them positively. And then, I'm a France fan because of Zinedine Zidane growing up.
Okay.
I will root for England because of my Manchester United ties. And then I prefer the Netherlands. But then, again, growing up in the 90s, 2000s, I mean, there's a connection there that I have from playing football or soccer. And so I'm like kind of secretly rooting for certain
team in every
teams.
group. It sounds like you have one team in every group, so you'll be happy through the first round, and then
No, but I can probably tell you more of the teams I don't like. So Spain and Argentina. Like no thanks.
Easy.
Yeah.
Well, Argentina's easy because repeat. You're not looking for that. You want things to keep it interesting.
I'm a Ronaldo fan. I'm not a Messi fan.
Okay.
Simpler than that.
Honestly, that's the new wave of sports fandom is just based on one individual, and that'll determine whether you like the team or not. So the star.
But then it goes back also, like, again, how you grew up, right? So if you're a Manchester United fan, you grew up in the 90s, David Beckham, England versus Argentina in 98, Simeone does the simulation, Beckham kicks him or dangles his leg at him, he falls over, wiggles like a fish, and he gets a red card. So instantly, I don't like Argentina.
Yeah.
Instantly.
All right, that's fair, and then that's permanent going forward.
Done.
I get it. And you know what? Trump risks that by going to MSG. Game 3, Knicks lose. If the Knicks lose tonight, they play again tonight at MSG. He's not attending. But if they lose, goes to a pivotal Game 5 on Saturday. If they lose in general, I mean, perception is reality. How many voters are you going to lose? Granted, it's in New York, but he can lose voters in New York. He can gain voters in Texas. Whatever.
I was going to say, why didn't he put on his Spurs hat then? I mean, he's got an election to win, and Talarico is up. Talarico is up on Paxton. I mean, come
The
on. Like,
wrestling fan in me wanted so badly for him to put on a Spurs hat.
oh
And
man.
you have never heard boos like he would have heard there.
Right. Would have
That
been
would have been
amazing.
an all-time moment. Oh, I
Perfect heel
absolutely do.
turn.
Now, I do want to recap a little bit of California. Now that we're at the end of the counting. Congrats, we made it. We did it.
We did it. We did it.
Because I was just saying, perception is reality. If Knicks fans think that Trump makes the Knicks lose, it's the same thing
Mm.
with California. Perception is reality, right?
Yeah.
If it takes 2 weeks to count the votes, people think it's suspect, right? People think it's sus. The Gen Z in me, people think it's sus, and that's going to be a problem for California until they figure this out. I mean, it's a trade off, obviously, but. What do
Well, I
you
mean,
think about the
you
counting?
you say figure it out. I mean, it's a choice. They made it this way by choice. They voted to make this happen. This is the progressives are winning. They are. I mean, it will only change if Democrats start losing. And think
Yeah.
about, like, you've got your vote harvesting. You don't really need an ID. You can use your gym membership as an ID.
Wow.
Talk about sus. Then you can also use a sample ballot, like a sample ballot. You don't even have to use the real thing.
Right.
That
You
to
just
me is,
picked up from anybody. You could. Yeah.
I,
It's not
I,
great. But these
I,
are all choices. These are all clear
these are all
choices.
clear choices. So the fact that it's taken 2 weeks for it to get here, I mean, if you allow everything under the sun effectively,
Yeah.
then I mean, I kind of feel bad for the people counting, because
Right.
I mean, what choice do they have to basically say, oh, there's a slip of piece of paper, kind of looks like a ballot. Somebody signed it. It's dated properly. Oh, I have to count that.
Yeah.
And then, like, oh, I found this other one under in the couch. I got to count that one too. Like, I mean, it's such a level of absurdity.
Yeah.
But
But
that's
there's
what
no.
they
That's what's funny. If the umbrella's that big, there's no actual evidence of fraud because
right,
it is all legal as defined.
right,
Like it
right.
is all okay and above board. So what's funny is who is the Secretary of State in California and why are this is the easiest position to win in California. You're the Secretary of State. You come in and you say we're going to count the votes within 48 hours of the vote. Vote for me. Boom. You have it. It's easy. Everyone agrees. That's great. That sounds awesome. But
Yeah. No, that's not how it
I'm
is.
not running in California, so that's clearly
Yeah, that's just a mess. It's a mess of their own making. It's
and they're the only state. That's really the problem, is that they're the only state who does this. Every other state can figure it out.
I mean, it's funny that we complain about it, but at the same time, if you're a Republican and you're sitting there when Democrats are pushing national voting solutions,
Mm-hmm.
and you say, well, but
Right.
the states have the rights to do it. So the
It's
shoe's
true.
on the other
Goes both
foot.
ways.
It goes both ways. It goes both
Goes both
ways. So,
ways. Yeah, yeah, Republicans are definitely not going to support federal voting reform. Or I mean, the SAVE Act is federal voting reform, so I guess they support one form of it, but
one form of it.
not one that's
Yeah.
going to prevent this.
Yeah, I don't know. It's somebody who can vote in two places. You just do it on a weekend, or create a holiday. Gives
Those are
everybody
the
an
two options.
ID. It's easy. You go in, you go with your letter of your last name. You walk into a room, you show the ID, they check the box. You give them an envelope, and you're done. It is that easy. And then you have all the results within hours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can't be that hard.
I wonder if the party apparatuses will ever let that simple reform where it's literally just put it on a weekend, make it a holiday, give everyone an ID, make them show that ID. Like it's that simple. It costs money to do all these things.
But it costs money
to do a lot of things.
But it costs money to run elections anyway. I mean, look what's happened in Louisiana, what happened in Alabama with the redistricting. I mean, they were having an election. Oh, wait, time out. We've got to pause the election. How much money did that cost?
Right.
So now we're going to do it in August, or we're going to do it in this other date. And, I mean, Alabama is literally already had an election day, and then we'll have another election day in August. I mean, that's how much does that cost?
I know, right? How much of that money could have gone to the kids?
Exactly, the kids.
Everything's a trade-off. Everything's a trade-off. But it's funny, the runoffs really get in my gears because the runoffs are you're paying so much money just to have two sessions, just to extend the electioneering and the campaigning, but just make it ranked choice voting. I mean, that's cuts out the runoffs. You get to show your allegiances completely, but election reform, it's not going to happen.
No, that's €2 of a solution. I mean,
It
the ranked
really
choice.
is.
It's.
It really is.
You
All right,
Can I make one
go ahead.
comment real quick?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
real
yeah.
quick before we move on. I think it's really interesting. We haven't really talked about in this so far in the primary election cycle about the cost of the campaigns. I mean, I've seen it here and there, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like it's become so normal. The most expensive House primary in history, the most expensive Senate, and it's like, okay, and moving on. We spent $125 million on the Senate race in Texas before the runoff. I mean, that's
And the
just,
candidate that lost spend most of that money.
I know.
You're spending it on losing campaigns. I mean, Tom Steyer.
Tom Steyer,
Did we nail that one?
200
Oh my!
million. And for what?
We really nailed Tom Steyer. I mean, the
Oh,
day
yeah.
after Swalwell drops out, we're like, "There's no way
No
Tom
chance.
Steyer's going to win this. There's
No
no
chance.
way."
No
You
chance.
just know. Some people you just know. There's no fight in them. There's no dynamic. You can't connect with voters. It's about connecting with the electorate. And
Yeah.
if you can't connect, what are you doing here? Well, you're spending $200 million on something that could have gone to the kids. Keep saying it.
Could have lit it on fire, and it probably would have gotten like a lot more views on YouTube and might have made him some money.
Yeah, it's true. He could have maybe rolled it over. Could have put it on the Knicks. 13 wins in a row. Could have put it on the
There you
Knicks.
go. See?
All right, let's finally get to Maine because we worked together on a great insights article that posted on Friday, and I just wanted to put that out there. A lot's happened since we put out our article on Friday. We were writing it Wednesday and Thursday. The gist is that Platner is not going to drop out, and he has a solid shot to win. Basically, the Maine Senate market on PredictIt has fallen ginormously. It was at 70 plus cents. It was at 70 cents on May 19th. It fell all the way to 52 cents while we were writing this insights article. And basically the point was way larger chance here because of the environment, because of the macros, sexting, Reddit posts, Nazi tattoo, now not sexual assault, but impropriety in relationships, aggressiveness. The scandals, they pile on, but they have diminishing returns. And when you have a candidate with these diminishing returns scandals, eventually the electorate's going to look at a candidate differently and say, now you're just trying to get me to not vote for him. And that's what we saw in the most recent poll. It was tied in Susan Collins versus Platner, and then they told the poll taker or the poll, how do you call it? Somebody who takes a poll or receives a poll? The poll receiver?
Sounds right.
Well, they told that person about all of the scandals. They filled them in. And guess what? They liked Platner more. Boom, Platner's up 8 points. He was tied in the first round. Then they tell them about the scandals, and he's up 8 points. And if you don't understand that, you haven't been paying attention to politics in the last 10 years. Right. Because it's a signal to voters to say, we don't want you to vote for this person. And guess what America loves to do more than anything? Do what you don't want them to do. They are literally your 15-year-old teenager. That is all America is.
I mean, not even 15-year-old teenager. I mean, you're talking about like a 3-year-old. I mean, this is like toddler level
Well,
logic here.
it's funny. My nephew's 3, and my brother keeps talking about three-nager. So it's
Yeah,
full circle. The
it's
three-nager
also
is here.
yeah. Don't
America
touch
as the three-nager.
don't touch the hot stove. Okay. Mm, mm.
That's what Platner is,
Yeah.
and this is just reinforcing his whole thing against the establishment. He wants to impeach Supreme Court justices. He wants to pack the court. He wants to do things that are outside of the box. He is Democrats Trump. I mean, he is the closest that the Democrats have to a Donald Trump. Not in a good way, not in a bad way, just on paper in terms of the scandals, in terms of the outsider energy, in
Yep.
terms of against Janet Mills, against the establishment. So it's now climbed back up. Democrats are now at 59 cents. You can buy them for 60 cents to win in Maine in the Senate. Graham Platner has secured the nomination. We don't know exactly the vote count. I think he's going to end up with somewhere between 75 and 80% of the vote.
Yeah, he's at 72% this morning, plus or minus. Yeah, I mean, you're right. This is kind of, Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, called the allegations hard to stomach, but then quickly, flip the script to it's an election. So ultimately it's a choice. So who are you going to pick? I mean, and I think,
Exactly.
in many ways, he's the oyster fisherman. He's human. And
Yeah.
so long as he's not stealing funds from, the people or doing something of that kind of nature, he's just human, right? And it's a
That's what
really
all of
interesting,
these stories are. They're
yeah,
all about him being human.
they're all about him being human. And it's, the Democrats are finally realizing in the age of Trump that they can act kind of like Trump and it's okay,
Right.
as
Right.
opposed to eating their own, which they tend to do, or previously used to do.
And they still are. I mean, everybody wanted to jump all over Platner. I think Schumer waited a little bit. Bernie didn't want to comment. You see every single politician really kind of trying to read the room before they make a stand, which is it's so democratic and it's so opposite from every single Republican politician who
Right.
is just on board until somebody tells me not to be on board. It is
Exactly.
the opposite. Democrats are
Yeah.
looking for a chance to jump off the boat, no matter what it is.
Like,
It's
how many eggshells am I going to step on today?
yeah, it's very funny, but and now the reports are Democrats are going to start ignoring Maine. They're just going to not think about it. They're just going to let's think about Texas, let's think about Georgia, let's think about North Carolina, let's think about
Yeah.
Ohio. Let's just focus on the candidates we like and not the ones we don't.
What is interesting though is, as Platner has solidified his position because of how he's done, the Senate control market went up 3 cents for Republicans yesterday. And so I think the traders are sitting there going and thinking, okay, they got their guy. Now Collins has the firepower, right? Now she can go after this guy because they've backed into it. So now we have our brawl, if you will. And so I think the Republicans, even if you haven't seen the pricing fully change, I mean, 59 cents is still basically a coin flip. And just kind of probably points mostly to the environment that we're in, which continues to be not great for Republicans if you're thinking about things in November electorally, and with Iran and the U.S. Shooting at each other again. Yet we're really close to a deal. And, gas prices aren't changing and approval ratings aren't getting better and so on and so forth. So.
Yeah, and Republicans are right now up to 62 cents. You can buy them at 64 cents to control the Senate.
Yep.
But the Iran war continues to rage. I think the estimates were that Trump said a deal was close to being done 38 times in the last few weeks until this morning he said they took too long. We're firing. So the war is now we're going to go in probably phases of firing, not firing, firing. But
I have to stop you. That should be a market. That should be a market. How many times is he going to say a deal is close?
You're so right. I mean, now after we get past this firing stuff, that's a great mention market. How many times will we publicly announce the
The
deal is
deal is
close.
close. I mean, because every time he does it, the stock market like it changes. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's like
Mm-hmm.
instantly the dollar weakens,
Right. Right.
oil starts to move. I mean, it's like every single time they just want that little bit of a hint of a
Mm-hmm.
deal,
Mm-hmm.
and it just
And by the way, inflation numbers came out this morning. They're up the most they have been year over year since April 2023.
yeah.
So basically on the tail end of the Biden trail. But I think the macros is what I choose to focus on more when it comes to the Senate market. And the 64 cents is probably overrating Republicans' chances. Now that I see polling come out in Ohio, very, very close in Ohio. I see polling come out in Texas, also very close in Texas. By the way, speaking of Texas, really quickly, have you seen the AI generated ad of Talarico singing my favorite things about trans kids? It's
No.
literally, I mean, it's a fever dream. You could dream it up in okay, he's in a dress and he's singing my favorite things, but he's like swapping the words out for like trans kids and yeah, it's
Oh wow.
yeah, we're in full AI era. Good
That we are.
breakdown on 50 plus one this morning on what Americans think of AI usage, and Democrats are more wary than Republicans, but no one's like fully on board and saying AI is very good. It'd be interesting to see how it works in elections specifically, but that
Mm-hmm.
is a new ad. It's funny too because Talarico just came out to say he is against gender reassignment surgery for minors. So interesting timing here. Yeah, that happened on a podcast not too long ago. I think it was
Wow.
in the last 5 days. Yeah, bold stances. We're getting towards the general, so you have to
Yeah.
really take stances on these things. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily sound like him, but he's trying to win in Texas, so that's
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's the things, the outfits that we don to win the election.
right. Exactly. So I think we've covered pretty much all of the happenings in this Senate market, and the House market hasn't moved too much since the redistricting either.
No. The Republicans dropped 2 cents yesterday. There are a couple of results out of California, 6 and 2, 22. And
Mm-hmm.
22 is, well, what is it? 6 is Kiley. He's the independent who basically threw all of his toys out of the pram
Yep.
and
Yep.
when the redistricting stuff was happening and became an independent, but still caucuses with Republicans.
Right.
Um,
Seems like a
he's
good move for Kylie, by the way. I think Kylie did a good little switcheroo last
well,
minute. I think
I mean,
it's
the
going to work out for him.
only choice he had. I mean, with the
Yeah.
redrawn lines, I mean, he's
Right.
that. I think Political Report casts that as leans Democrat or even darker that strong Democrat now that district.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, anything you can do to strengthen your position, you might have to do that,
Yeah,
especially in a House race like
absolutely.
that.
And just want to break down really quickly the Senate leader, or sorry, the Democrats taking the Senate, the Democrats taking the House, and then our balance of power market generally. So the Dem House and Senate is 36 cents. You can get Democrats to take the Senate at 40 cents, and you can get Democrats to take the House at 71 cents. So it seems like your best money is probably spent in the House still. If I had to pick one, I'd
Yeah,
probably still go with Democrats in the House. 71 cents seems low. I mean, it seems low for an environment like this. You don't have to worry about the specifics of the Senate races at all, and you just kind of have to lean on that environment there. So I'd probably still go with Democrats in the House, but if you do want, I mean, what are the chances that Democrats take the House, or sorry, what are the chances that Democrats take the Senate and they don't take the House, which mean very, very low, right? which basically means the 4 cents that you get by taking Democrats House and Senate versus just Democrats Senate might be worth it. It might be worth the discount. So if you're looking at Democrats to take the Senate at 40 cents, I think you might as well come over to the balance of power market and take Democrats House and Senate at 36 cents. And you can probably get a little bit of a discount there. Just some market breakdown comparing each price there.
No, that sounds right.
Garth, anything we missed? So much has happened since we last talked. I was in Peru when we last talked.
You were in Peru. I was in Italy.
Right.
Yeah, a lot has happened. We even chaletted too. So it's yeah, a lot's happening. You know, what's kind of nice is you kind of forget what's already happened because we're in that flow of primaries. You know, we've had Georgia, we've had Texas runoff, we've had, you know, Louisiana craziness, we've had, you know, everything under the sun so far. California. I mean, like the last month and change has been, you know, but this is the way we like it. I mean, this is how we like it to predict it. I mean, it's election season and this is what we live for.
Totally.
And yeah, it's just gonna be more of it.
Yeah,
I
agree.
I'm game.
It's so funny. So LA mayor, everyone was looking at this race. It's really going to fade into the black when we get to November. I mean, who's going to be thinking about the LA mayor race? And that's why I want to ask you closing thoughts. Who you got in the LA mayor race in the runoff?
Oh, Bass wins easy. She's the incumbent. I mean, the history's kind of against her in that regard because she's the first incumbent to go to a runoff in 30 years or something like that. You know, but how can they pick Ramen? I don't understand that equation. But
and I assume Spencer Pratt voters are just going to sit this one out. Like that's the type of voter that is disaffected, and they're just not going to vote. So
right, I mean,
he supports Bass.
Yeah, I mean that definitely supports Bass. I mean, Ramen is so progressive that LA doesn't need that. They already got that, if you will, and unless they go to war against each other, and which then it just means it's going to be ugly. I mean, it would have been way cooler if Spencer Pratt was going up against Bass. That like the contrast of that would have been like interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, despite Pratt constantly saying that I am not really a Republican, but I am kind of a Republican. You know,
if you asked him about any issue that wasn't like related to the fires, related to homelessness, he would just say, "I don't know. I'm going to tell my lieutenant mayor to deal with that." He would just say, "I don't know," and it's like that. It's on purpose that he didn't know.
Yeah. So I think the world is missing out on that glorious fight this fall. But whatever. I think
we'll have enough. We'll have enough to feed us, I think, come November.
But, you know, it's races like that are you know, the pleasant surprises. You know, we've just been thinking about the World Cup coming up, and I was watching a podcast of the guys Gary Neville and Roy Keane, and it's the Sky Sports one, and they were talking about, you know, one of the things that they're looking forward to is, you know, the teams that surprise. Right?
Yeah.
Who's going to be that team? I mean, there's 48 choices. So, you know, the LA mayor has been the primary of surprise so far of this season. Totally. And it's, you know, I mean, they're the Curacao or the, you know, I don't know, Saudi Arabia. You know,
I don't know if Curacao is going to pull it out.
Probably
if I had to pick, you want me to pick a good underdog that maybe upsets, comes out of the group? I like South Korea. I'm going to go with South Korea as my choice. I don't have too much. They're in that Mexico group. I don't have too much faith in that group. It's not a very good group. So I'm gonna go with South Korea. Comes out, maybe lasts a couple rounds and gets knocked out by one of the big wigs. But that's my pick.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I mean, I think South Korea is always a good choice unless they completely just, which happens
to be one or the other. Yeah.
One or the other. I mean, because think about it. It's a hot World Cup. You know, they're going to be traveling around, and these guys love to run. They are fit as a fiddle, and
they're going to be in Mexico. They're going to be up high, and so that's gonna come into play for sure.
That's going to be a serious play. Yeah. Anyway,
All right, amazing. Thanks, everyone. Follow us along on X. We are at PredictIt Pod on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on YouTube.com/@PredictItOfficial. Garth, you're the best. Thank you for joining me. Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone, for listening, and have a good one.
Peace.